What's good, Commanders fans? Just wanted to do a quick injury update video. It's gonna be super quick. I will be on my guy Wool's channel tonight. Rio's gonna be on that channel tonight too as a guest. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm gonna put the link down below in the description for sure, so you guys can check that out and make sure you guys don't miss it. Should be a lot of fun. I think it starts at about 9:30. So that should be really fun. Like I said, I'm gonna put the link down below in the description. I'm gonna get the correct time that's gonna start. Yeah, 9:30 Eastern. All burgundy and gold, everything. So it's gonna be super lit. My guy DH on the mic, he's gonna be on the show too. But shout out to Wool, man. He's always a great time. Urban Sports Scene is the channel. So shout out to my guy Wool, man. He's always a great host of the show for sure. So it's just really like a quick news dump. Thursday is like that middle of the day kind of thing. You know, it's not like Friday is the more important day for the injury report, and that's really like the dress rehearsal. Of course, Dan Quinn talked again, and other guys got to talk to the media today as well. But I do want to talk about Jalen Hurts, man. I'm putting this video up here too, just kind of analyzing how slow and gimpy he moved. In Sal Paolantonio, who's the beat reporter, the ESPN beat reporter for the Eagles, he said he's been the ESPN beat reporter for years and years, just like how John Kahn has been the ESPN beat reporter for the Commanders and Skins and Washington football team for years and years. Sal Paolantonio said, quote, "He's definitely a little bit stiff. He's moving gingerly. We're not seeing much practice, just a little bit of warm-up." So he's going to play, of course. He's not going to miss this game. They're going to, give him a shot, a cortisone shot, or whatever shot. People talking about perks and all that stuff, and he was, super under the influence after the Rams game because he was hurt, man. Like, they rolled up on his ankle and all that. It wasn't a hip drop tackle, but they did roll up on his ankle, and it was a painful injury. You could see he could barely move. He got sacked 3 times after the injury, got sacked 7 times in the whole game, took a safety, and just was not the mobile Jalen Hurts that we've seen all season at the beginning of that game when he had that 44-yard run for a touchdown. So I know they're trying to, limit him and whatnot in practice, but, if he can't run and he's limited, he's got to stay in the pocket. Like, it's going to make it even tougher for him. He's already struggling to throw the football while he's been mobile and had that dual threat ability. He's throwing for like 118 yards. He's thrown under 150 yards in a bunch of games, which has been a formula for success for them. Him being that game manager, Alex Smith type of role where Saquon runs for 150 yards or even 200 yards like he did against the Rams. So he's been playing that game manager role for a good amount of the season. A.J. Brown has been upset and shown his frustration, reading books on the sideline and talking about the passing game and being critical of Jalen Hurts in post-game pressers. So, this is big, guys. This is big, because if he can't move around, that's a huge part of his game. We can really make him one-dimensional and keep him in the pocket. He likes to hold the ball very, very, very long. Very long. He gets sacked on a good amount of his dropbacks. It's like one of the highest sack percentages on his dropbacks. So just looking at the video, he looked very gimpy. He did look like he had cement feet. But, like I said, they're definitely going to shoot him with some stuff. On the other side, Cam Jurgens did not participate in practice today, which is pretty big. Dallas Goedert did not participate with an ankle injury. That's pretty big. Both those guys, I would assume, will play. Like, Dallas Goedert's definitely going to play. Cam Jurgens, I'm not too sure. He might actually miss the game. There's a small chance he may miss the game. And I want them to be full strength. I really do. I want them to be full strength. I don't want any excuses, anything like that, like they had last time when Jalen Hurts went out. You could just hear all the excuses that Eagles fans say all the time. This is from a Twitter docker. He says, Jalen Hurts, who is dealing with a knee sprain, although the specifics are unclear, was a full participant in practice today and will be a full go on Sunday. Wouldn't be surprised if he is wearing a brace and could potentially lower his volume of rushing. He's also at moderate risk of re-injury. So, like I said, if he's wearing a bulky knee brace, that would make him even slower. And him being slow and having to stay in the pocket and throw the football, that's going to make it even tougher. And Joe Whitt Jr. said, quote, "We are going to hit him that way. That's their decision if they want to get him hit the way that he gets hit." So they're going to treat him like a running back. And I know Philly fans are crying and saying Frankie Lou was dirty. No, he's just playing football, man. He's playing football. That was a football play on Jared Goff. That was a football play on Jalen Hurts. There was a football play the first time when he got concussed. That was a tackle. It wasn't a helmet-to-helmet hit when he got concussed in Philly, and they didn't say he was concussed. He went to the blue tent where he really did get concussed the first time. and they had him go back out there. That was a football hit. So Joe Whitt Jr., he's ready for the smoke for sure. And Frankie Louvu is ready for the smoke too. Of course, we want to be as clean as possible, of course. But a lot of those hits that Frankie Louvu had were just regular old football hits. They just were. And the hit on Dallas too. Some people were trying to say the hit on Ferguson was dirty. I was like, no, that's a football hit. It was a football hit. He was a little reckless. The Malik Neighbors one was a little reckless too, but sometimes you play with that reckless abandonment. You play like you see ball, get ball. And that's the way that Frankie Louvu plays. All right, and then on our side, Deron Payne he did not participate again today, which is kind of like the Bobby Wagner thing, where Bobby Wagner did not participate again today too. We know last week Bobby Wagner did not participate on Wednesday or Thursday, or was it Monday and Tuesday, or like Tuesday and Wednesday he did not participate because we had the game on Sunday night against the Buccaneers. No, we had the game Saturday night against the Lions, and he did not participate in Wednesday or Tuesday. But he had participated in practice on Thursday. So I think what we're going to see is Deron Payne participate in practice tomorrow. Same thing with Bobby Wagner to get ready for the dress rehearsal. Other than that, everybody was pretty fine. Zach Ertz participated in practice, which is good news. Jeff Driscoll did not participate, but he's our third string quarterback. Quarterback. John Bates was limited, so he's going to play. Jameson Crowder limited. Clinton Ferrell. Everybody else was limited. Frankie Louvu limited, so he's going to play. Ozzie limited, he's going to play. And that's about it. Yeah, everybody else is fine. Jerry McNichols, full participant. Brandon Coleman, full participant. So all those guys are going to play. Quinyon Mitchell was a full participant, so he's going to be ready to go with no limitations. I mean, the shoulder injury still may bother him, but he's going to be ready to go with no limitations. So that's about it for today, guys. And then the Cowboys, they did hire Brian Schottenheimer. So I know that's a big disappointing hire for Cowboys fans, and a lot of people wanted Deion Sanders. They wanted who else was out there? Possibly Pete Carroll. There's so many other options that they could have went with. I know they were trying to interview Cliff, but Cliff turned them down because Cliff wants to stay. But I know there was a bunch of other candidates that they could have gotten instead of getting an inside guy. Like, I think it probably would have been better to stay with Mike McCarthy. Like, if you're going to go with Brian Schottenheimer, you might as well just stay with Mike McCarthy. You're going to go with a guy who was already on the staff and that wasn't even calling plays, and you're going to keep that guy, of all people, and just keep it in-house. You're kind of just making a lateral move. You're actually making a lower move, in my opinion, to go to Brian Schottenheimer. But that's what Jerry wants. He wants a guy that he can control and, not really, go against him or have a big ego or anything like that, or challenge him for the most part. He does want a yes guy in there, and Jerry Jones really is. He's Dan Snyder. He's Dan Snyder-esque or Dan Snyder light. That's just how he is, and I'm happy we have an owner and a GM and a front office that is not like that anymore. And they're just going to be bad for years and years and years as long as Jerry Jones is there. As long as Dak Prescott's the quarterback, as long as Jerry Jones is there. Like I said a couple weeks ago, we can finally look at other organizations and be like, man, you guys have a terrible organization. You have a terrible ownership from the top to bottom. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys are right now. That's what they are. They are who we were 2 years ago and years before. Not as bad record-wise, but just the dysfunction there with the coaching and the front office and decision-making and stuff like that. Yeah, that's just what they are with Jerry Jones. And as long as he's alive and kicking it well, that's just what they're going to be. That's just what they're going to be. So there were definitely some other candidates, like even Mike Vrabel. He went to Tennessee, but they could have definitely gone after guys like that with different resumes, for sure, man. But I'm happy. I'm happy they didn't get a good guy. I'm happy they did not get a good coach. Like even Robert Saleh probably would have been better. Kellen Moore was a candidate. I think that would have been a better hire, even though he's already been there. That's a retread for them, kind of. Leslie Frazier, other guys like that. So that's who they hired, man. So, like I said, we'll see. We'll see. Some of his offense has been good. Some of his offensive years have been bad. But this year, they just weren't able to run the football at all. So, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens, man. So, all right, you guys, as always, Kellen Moore, Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders probably would have been the guy for sure. I don't know if it would have worked out if Deion Sanders went there, because him and Jerry, they might have butted heads and stuff like that. And he's very, very expressive, as we know, and definitely doesn't hold his tongue for everything. He'd be running that building for sure if he was there. So I think they just wanted a guy that they could definitely control, and Brian Schottenheimer is that guy. So I do like that move by Dallas for selfish reasons as a Commanders fan. All right, you guys, as always, we will check in tomorrow I'm going to try my best to go live during the day like I did last time. Health Commanders, as always. Peace.